Hello, my nieces. Hello, my nephews. It's me, your Twin Flame Auntie, and I'm here to put you in timeout from the 5D and bring you back to Earth. Welcome back. I think that twin flames would make amazing detectives, and we should all just get together and form our own detective agency because the things that we are capable of finding out online are pretty impressive. But I think we have to ask ourselves, hey, are we in a parasocial relationship with our twin flame? Because a lot of us are. So don't panic. Take a deep breath. We are not shaming anybody today because this is a cultural thing. We are looking people up online. They're looking us up online. It happens to, I would say, almost everyone. It's a part of life now. And we also get that dopamine hit, right? So when we see a picture of our twin flame, the receptors in our brain are all warm and fuzzy. And curiosity is human. These are also unprecedented times where we can do this, right? But I think we need to understand where it comes from, when it's serving us, and when it's time to put the phone down. Now, I want to be real with you. Cyberstalking, not healthy. But a little detective work isn't always a bad thing. And actually, early in my own journey, my detective work brought me a lot of clarity and a lot of answers. So when I first started feeling that 5D telepathy, it was about 16 years after the breakup. It came out of nowhere. And I said, hey, I haven't been on his social media in years. I think it's time to look him up. And so digging through the past, I realized that my twin flame and I lived parallel lives to the point where it's astonishing. We lived in the same cities at different times and even had similar addresses. And that might be a little iffy that I found out some of his old addresses, but I just felt called to do it. We had similar life events, just really wild stuff. Also, I learned about his struggle with drinking. However, he didn't really present it as a struggle. It was like every other post was, I was wasted, or, I was getting hammered, or I was playing drunk basketball. And I realized that that was something that I had struggled with. So it helped me understand his inner world better as well as my own. And I even looked into the woman that he chose over me, his soulmate. And you know what? She's cool. I love her. She has qualities that I genuinely admire and things that I cultivated myself. So yeah, it can serve a purpose. Also, I think that it was very important to understand how sometimes the 3D and the 5D are just two different worlds. Now, I know that there's a lot of twin flame creators out there that will say that the 3D eventually catches up with the 5D. I'm open to that. I haven't seen it, but I'm open to it. But right now, I think it is important to kind of be okay with what is, what the reality is. And maybe that's part of surrender. So look, if you're going to play detective, you got to be careful. There's traps everywhere that could give you away. So my nieces and my nephews, sit down and lean in and listen to your auntie. Whatever you do, do not go on LinkedIn. I'm going to say this one more time. Whatever you do not go on LinkedIn, especially if you are signed in, because they will get a message or like a little ding saying, look at who checked out your profile. We do not want this. Watch out for TikTok also. They have a profile feature that you could toggle it on and off, but if it's on, they're going to see that you checked out their page. And try not to watch their Instagram stories or their Facebook stories because they are going to see that you looked at it. If you have to get like a burner account, I don't recommend that, but also I'm not going to judge you if you do. And I am speaking from experience. I'm going to tell you about some of the most embarrassing things that have happened in my detective work. So in 2023, I went through our old Facebook message thread. I accidentally hit the like button on a message from 2015. Like, it had been 8 years prior. I wanted to just change my identity. I have accidentally reposted a photo from his job's Instagram account. He's private on Instagram. I figured out that I could see a photo of him at his job. And every once in a while, I would go to that account, and there was this thing they were looking for someone to replace him, actually. And they were accepting resumes, and there was this little post. Yeah, I accidentally reposted it on my account. I've also accidentally liked photos of women that he has dated, which is so horrifying. And I just pray that those people had no idea who I was. So I want to give you a pro tip. If you ever do what I did and you get caught, change your profile photo, change your handle, wipe out your bio, and make it look like that you're just some generic spam account, and leave it like that for a week or two. That's that. I think Google Gemini told me to do that. Okay. And I want to tell you another story to kind of look at this from a different perspective. Not only have I been the person doing the detective work, I have been the person that the detective has looked at. So I've talked about this man before in other videos, but there is a man that I've known. I don't want to say I've known him since childhood, because he's a stranger to me now. I knew him as a child. The last time I saw him was 40 years ago, maybe even 45 years ago. He has a partner now, but he asked me to have dinner with him in the past. The desire to see him, it's not there, right? So I put a restricted feature so that my posts don't show up in his feed. But here's the thing, he still goes out of his way to find my page because he comments on almost everything I post. And it makes me so uncomfortable that I actually just don't post that much. I know that he's checking in on me, and experiencing it from that end is a huge eye-opener. It does not feel good. It feels so uncomfortable. And so remembering how it feels on this end, it puts it into perspective when I have that urge to keep tabs on my twin flame. Scrolling through their page, it's like eating a bag of potato chips, and getting to the bottom of the bag. It's not doing you any favors. You feel like you can't stop. It tastes so good, and all that, dopamine goes to your head while you're crunch, 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 crunch. So don't beat yourself up. However, there is a healthier way to live. Now, look, I still check in on my twin flame from time to time. I'm human. I don't think I'm ever going to totally give it up. But I've slowed down tremendously, and I have learned to accept what is in reality. I've learned to look at the 3D and say, this is what it is. He's not reaching out. He has this whole life that I'm not a part of. And while I wish things are different, and I know that some twin flame coaches will say, oh, the 3D has to catch up to the 5D. I'm open to that, but I accept what the 3D is today. And so what I'm doing is I'm working on building a life in the 3D that I love being present for, and meeting people who actually want to show up in my, earthly existence. So sometimes I try to have these little, sessions where I don't have a phone on me. I'll take long walks, no cell phone. I will run errands, no cell phone. And I've had this little bucket list of hobbies: watercolors, gardening, and I actually grew my first cucumber and tomatoes. So, man, it took all summer, but it really felt good. And when you put your energy into things that grow back, you stop chasing ghosts of 5D feelings and memories of yesteryear. Now, those feelings are always going to be a part of you, but it really helps to find things to fill up your time to, replace all that time you spend online. And now look, maybe they come back, maybe they don't, but I guarantee you that they're not going to come back if you're checking their social media all the time. And this goes for even non-twin flame relationships. So I think that we all deserve connections that exist in real day-to-day life, with real conversations, with people who pick up the phone and call or text, real presence and mutual respect. So if you find yourself deep in the detective work today, it's okay. We all do it. But if you can, step away from the screen and just go do something fun. Get out in nature, pet a cat, grow a cucumber. So drop your thoughts and your absolute worst clumsy social media stories in the comments below. If you've ever got caught looking up your twin flame online, I want to hear all about it, because we can all just kind of be horrified at ourselves together. But also, we got to forgive ourselves. It's okay. We are human. Everybody does this. So if this has helped, please like and subscribe. If you know a twin flame that's going through it right now, please send them to my page. And remember, your twin flame auntie loves you, and it's all going to be okay.